What is up, everybody? Josh Tapp here. And I just had a story I wanted to share with you guys and just hopefully give you a little bit of advice that I got from a coach many, many years ago. So I kind of have to pre-frame this one with a little bit of a story. So this morning, I wake up at 6:30. We're about to head to the gym. And all of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up. I had three of our clients reach out to me saying, Josh, our sites are down. We've got, all these different issues. And then I had a couple other people reaching out to me just saying there's all kinds of issues. And over the last 3 or 4 hours, it's just client issue after client issue after client issue. And I remember sitting back and just kind of laughing for a second today, because I remember about a year ago, this would have crippled me. These sort of things, it always tends to happen on the same day. I've found that typically, business is going great, clients are loving you, and that always seems to happen on a Friday, right before you head out to go to the last day of work. So you can take the weekend off, go be with family or whatnot, and just everything slams you and hits you in the face. And I remember for myself, I used to seriously sit there and just get so wound up and get so anxious over these things. So like, oh, we're going to lose our clients. All this is going to happen. And just spiraling in my mind, feeling like all was lost. Right. And I know this isn't really a straight marketing tip or a business tip per se, but this is really just a personal development thing that I hope will help all of you guys as you run into the same problems, because it doesn't matter what stage of business you're in, you have these days consistently. They talk about that emotional roller coaster where, you have those ups and downs on a daily basis. And I know for myself, there were times that was literally happening every 5 minutes. And some days it's still that same way. So how do you learn to control your state so that you can come out the other end, actually resolving those issues and knowing how to react when crap hits the fan, right? So I want to just kind of walk you through what a coach walked me through. And I love this. So when all these things start to happen, take a step back and breathe. One of the biggest problems is when we just immediately hop in and start responding to people on our phone or emails or whatnot. And, we'll take care of this. And here's all these things. Let's hop on a call. Let's solve all these issues, right? 9 times out of 10, when somebody has an urgent issue, it's actually not as urgent as you might think it would be. So the big thing is to just stop and breathe. Think about how you're going to manage all of these different issues. I'm the kind of guy I always, and you all know this, I always have a pen and paper on my desk here. And what I'll do is I'll write down, here are all the issues that are happening. And then I will put priorities next to the ones that are the most important, that are like, hey, these are urgent. Maybe like a payment gateway isn't working or something, and we need to get that taken care of. It kind of depends on the business that you're in. Obviously there's some things that if you don't fix immediately could cause legal trouble or whatnot. That would be a priority number one, right? So you're stepping back, taking a breath and saying, you know what, even if everything happens wrong, I'm going to be okay. So what the coach explained to me was say, take an inventory of what you're doing, but step back and breathe and say, what's the worst case scenario that could happen? And then become okay with that worst case scenario. Because once you've done that, it takes the fear out of it. Yeah, you're still going to get that sick feeling in your stomach, when something goes wrong with a client, or maybe your website's down, or, there's 1,000 different issues that could happen. But look at the worst case scenario and then just accept it. Become okay with it. And it's not saying, hey, I want this to happen. I don't want this worst case to happen. But it's becoming okay with it and realizing that your actions right now are not going to determine your lifetime of success, right? Everything is just a little teeny piece along the journey of building your business. So what I always tell people is say, okay, take a breath, take inventory of the problems that you have, and then prioritize them. That might even take you an hour or two, depending on what this is. The truth of the matter is that most of these problems, if you will wait for 24 hours, they will resolve themselves. I honestly, and people, our clients who are listening to this are going to be like, wait, you do that to me? Is that many times in our business, we create content for people. And the truth is that there's never an issue that can't be resolved within 24 hours, that can't wait 24 hours to be resolved. And what ends up happening is most of the time so let's just say a client reaches out to me, they say, Josh, this post, it's not, there's a typo in the post and it's already gone out, what do we do kind of thing. I actually won't respond to them for 24 hours. And I've actually trained my team to do that because, as you all know, I've been working my way out of the operations side of things. But when we do that, what tends to happen is that 9 times out of 10, the problem resolves itself. The client either is like, okay, whatever, it'll be okay. Or they will end up having the problem fixed. Sometimes it just gets fixed. A lot of times like a website goes down for 5 minutes or something, and we don't need to panic and go out there and try and solve, the world's problems in one go. We just let it happen. Just see what happens in 24 hours. I know this is going to be extremely hard for those of you who are OCD like me and you want it to be perfect. When we sell things to our clients, we want to make sure that it's perfect. And I know it's like handing them your soul and saying, hey, please take care of this kind of thing. I hope you love what I'm giving you, because it feels like a gift that you're giving to your client. But what you'll find is that if you do that and you step back and you say, okay, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And if it's not 100% perfect, it doesn't mean they're going to fire you. But then there's another lesson to be learned here, is that if they are freaking out, oh, maybe there was one typo or something, they're probably not the best client for you. We've run into this many times where I actually still love those clients that we had, but we end up parting ways because their expectations were that it will be 100% perfect all the time. And when there were issues and they were micromanaging and kind of beating up on my team, I was like, no, I'm going to protect my team. We don't really want to work with you. And sometimes it's costs us a lot of money when that happens, but doing that preserves the culture and preserves the people that we have within our group. So the next thing that I would tell you is that after you've taken a breath, you've taken inventory, you've prioritized everything, you've let a lot of that sit for 24 hours, you look at the tasks that you have that are urgent, that need to be prioritized, right? So let's just say you have one or two big things. And the thing I want to ask you should be asking yourself is, can you delegate 1, 2, or 3 of those tasks to somebody else? The number one problem with most entrepreneurs who are doing the sales for themselves, which most of us are who are listening to the show, if you're doing the sales for yourself, it degrades your confidence when you have to deal with customer issues like that, because it ends up you tell yourself, oh man, our product isn't as great. And then when you go to sell it, you're like, yeah, it's fantastic, but you feel like you're lying through your teeth. The truth is you need to guard your confidence, protect your confidence, and make sure that you are the person who is selling, not the person who's doing customer support. I've actually recently been doing this in my own company, and we've been handing it off to Tyler, which you all know, he's my brother and has been my partner for like 10 years now. He's amazing at operations. He's amazing at handling a lot of these situations. So I simply turn to him and say, Tyler, can you take care of these things, right? He is now taking all of these customer issues. And then every once in a while, we'll have 1 or 2 that come my way that I can resolve, but I'm not having 45 hit my plate in one go. And handing that fulfillment side off to somebody else is seriously it lightens the load off of your shoulders when you're able to do that. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. That's one of the first people you outsource, is somebody to be that operations manager for yourself. It's huge when you can hand that off, because then your job can be what I call the dancing monkey role, where you can be out, you can be sharing your wisdom with people, you can be connecting with other people, creating those sales for your company, and really doing what you just enjoy. So I hope that helps all of you. And if you're having a crisis moment today, just stop and breathe. It's okay. We've all been there. We've been there. I feel you on it. Just make sure that you take those 3 steps. Remember to take a breath, make sure to wait 24 hours, prioritize everything that you're doing, and then delegate to your team. I don't think that was 3 things, guys, but I'm not the best at math. You all know that. But I hope that helps all of you, and we'll catch you soon.